Hello, I'm up here and welcome to Stevenage in Hertfordshire. Today we're looking at a mystery underpass road and an unused roundabout found to the south side of Stevo on the A602. I can't promise all the answers, but we can at least try and work out why we've got these useless pieces of infrastructure. Stevenage was dreamt up in the mid-1940s as the first town to be built as part of the government's new town building plan. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know all about this, no doubt, but in short, having been bombed a bit during the 1939 to 1945 small disagreement, we needed to build houses and workplaces with some vigour, preferably spending as little as possible along the way. So, built quickly and for cheap, we got Stevenage, which explains a lot. Of course, you can't just build a town without some roads, and indeed their elaborate road building plan was mostly completed to specification, but there were a few things that didn't go to plan, which I hope go some way to explaining one of our mystery items. Let's take a look at the underpass. At first glance, you'd think it was an abandoned or incomplete road as a result of a project cancellation, and it is. Sort of. I'm not sure it was ever meant to be a road. You see, along with Stevenage's old elaborate road building plan, they also constructed an extensive network of cycleways separate from the main road, and this underpass, I think, is the remains of what was supposed to be part of the cycle network, but it was never finished to plan. So why do I think this is for cycles and not cars? Well, if we take a look at the bridges we'd have passed under, their height is far too low for everyday traffic. And indeed, if we compare this to the existing bridges in use today, it's fair to say that this looks remarkably similar to the existing cycling infrastructure. That said, it's not impossible for a car to fit through, and therefore there is a slim chance it could have been intended as a car-only underpass, but I think that's unlikely when we look at the Stevenage Newtown plan, and more so the bit that was cancelled. Just next to our mystery underpass is a roundabout where the A602 and Monkswood Way meet, and this roundabout was not built to the original Newtown plan due to them cancelling part of the project. What was supposed to happen was that this roundabout would have 5 roads connecting to it, the missing road being a dual carriageway running through Six Hills Way and connecting up with the A1155. However, the missing road connection was cancelled, apparently after some opposition from the locals, but it's not clear if that was actually the case. It seems more likely that they just decided against the idea. Anyway, the point is, if this roundabout was built to plan and that additional road built, the cycling infrastructure would need to be routed a different way to account for the larger roundabout and extra road, and I think this is where our mystery underpass road comes into play. My guess is that the cycleway would have made its way through the roundabout this way, perhaps via an underpass or bridge, and then connected up with the cycleways on the other side. It's difficult to say for sure, but I'm thinking this mystery underpass and bit of road was supposed to be for cyclists and pedestrians, but because plans changed, it could never be completed as intended, today making it useless. Although I did find this lovely photo from the late 1980s showing the underpass road being used as a car park, but look, MFI, who remembers that? Back to useless things, and the old roundabout that led to the creation of that underpass is peculiar. Why is it here, considering it's been blocked off, making it not a roundabout? I've got less of an idea on this one. The problem is that the roundabout doesn't feature on any of the Stevenage Newtown plans, but it does seem likely it was built around the same time as the other roads in the area, and initially it was fully open and functional as a roundabout, albeit with very little purpose. My research suggests it would cease to be a roundabout in the late 1990s, maybe early 2000s. I can only assume it was changed because it was causing a bottleneck for traffic completely unnecessarily. Maybe buried within an archive there are plans for another road to be built, or maybe it's for access to some more unbuilt housing, but the exact reasons as to why it was built or what it was supposed to do remains a bit of a mystery. Today the unused bits of roundabout and underpass just sit here, perhaps seeing the odd bit of weed killer from a council maintenance van, but that's all the traffic they're ever likely to see. With today's roads and cycleways built around this leftover, there are few ways to make good use of it without some serious work and modification, and who can be bothered with that? Thanks for watching.